He didn't ask to carry this weight. He just kept walking, trying to find his place, trying to find peace. But even in the wilderness, God was calling him deeper. Brotherhood meets him where he is, shoulder to shoulder, with prayer, with truth, with healing. Because no man is meant to walk this journey alone. And when identity is restored, legacy begins. Sons run home. Families are made whole. Arise, Kings, a day of legacy, identity, and healing. California, May 30th, 2025. This is your invitation, your moment to rise. Arise, Kings. It's time.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am so honored to host this powerful conversation as we prepare for the Arise Kings Summit. This is going to be a transformative day focused on legacy, on identity, and healing for men and their families. And today, you all are going to get an exclusive look into the hearts of the men who will be speaking at the event. These men aren't just panelists, these men are sons of God. They're leaders, they're warriors who have walked through real battles and carry real wisdom. So, as you all listen, I pray you're encouraged, that you are inspired, and reminded that God is still raising up kings in this generation. So, let's go deeper, let's get real, and let's get to know these panelists so that on May 30th, at the Wellness Summit, you will have an idea of who these individuals are and the wealth of information that they will be able to provide. So we are going to interview Dr. Dion Whitehead, and I just want to welcome you, Dr. Dion. So
Thank you.
excited
Thank
for
you.
you to be a part of this event.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. So I'm just going to get us started and ask you
Okay.
just to please tell us a little bit about you and
Mhm.
about your practice.
Okay. Well, my name is Dion Whitehead. I've been a registered nurse for over 30 years, and for the last, say, 5 years, I've been a practicing um, primary care doctor for mostly for men's health. Right now, I'm contracted with the VA. I see a lot of vets. Um, I have my own practice that's in LA, and the reason why I became a provider or a doctor is because just being a nurse, you're following doctor's orders, and I just didn't agree with some of the way they were handling some of the patients that I was caring for. And I figured only way to make a difference is to be on that other side where I'm actually providing the care and directing the care myself, the way I
Mhm.
think men or whoever I'm dealing with should be treated. Um, so for the last, I guess, over the past year, I've been thinking about doing my own practice and finally came to fruition. So I have my own practice. I went back to where I came from. I was born and raised in Compton, California. And so I went back and I opened my practice in Compton, California, so I can care for the people who I've raised with and who I see need that. I guess that hands-on care. I didn't feel like people in that community were being treated the way I think they need to be treated.
Mhm.
So, and now we're here.
I love it. I love it. And I just wanted to first of all say thank you because a lot of times, when people they move on, they move forward. A lot of times coming back to the community is like not even a thought because it's like
Right.
we're always wanting to move forward to the next. But for you, like you said, a thriving, working with veterans, I'm sure in another community, but
Hmm.
just to take that time to say, let me go back to where I started and
Right.
to help those people in the community where I know there's a need. So I just want to say thank you. Had a chance to
My
be at that
pleasure.
open house for your practice,
Hmm.
and just know wonderful things will be experienced because you do have a passion for the people.
Yes, I do.
So let's go into this next question. So
Okay.
when you hear the word arise kings,
Hmm.
what comes to mind for you?
For me, it's more of a I think it's a calling for us as men to just do that, rise and take more responsibility, regarding our health, so we can be leaders in the community. By taking care of ourselves, we can be there. If you're not taking care of yourself, things happen. You get sick. You're not able to be that leader and that pillar in the community. To
Mhm.
help others who are coming up behind you. To give them examples of how things should be and how to,
Mhm.
you know, encourage and I guess lead those under you. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to get the question together.
Yeah, no, that's
Like I
good.
said, I just think it's just it's a calling for us as men to just take better care of ourselves. So.
Yes, yes. And Dr. Dion, no, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think, what you're speaking to is what resonates with a lot of us. When we hear the words arise kings, it's literally like that clarion call,
Hmm.
a call for men, like you said, to take care of whatever part of health for them,
Right.
as you're speaking to the physical health, taking that pause, taking that time to say, hey, I do matter. I'm
Right.
taking care of so many other things, so many other people, and literally allowing this space just to say, let me go check my blood pressure. Let me
Right.
go check my glucose levels. Let me go and get, my cancer screens or whatever that is. So I think, what you're speaking to is definitely rings loudly,
Hmm.
and it's necessary, for these
Right.
men just to hopefully answer this call.
Right.
So why do you think this type of summit, this type of gathering, will be at the Urban Magic Johnson Park, May
Right.
30th? But why do you think such a gathering like this is so important for men and their families?
For me, I think a gathering like this is important because I think it just provides a space for a safe space for men to just come and feel vulnerable and be amongst people who are in the same situation that they might be in and see that they're not by themselves. At the same
Hmm.
time, it provides a space for the families to see what we as men go through and
Hmm.
the roadblocks that we face in regards to our egos. You know,
Hmm.
we feel like we always have to be strong for everybody, but sometimes we're not strong for ourselves. So I think this
Hmm.
type of gathering just allows everybody to kind of come and go, oh, okay, it's not just me. And
Hmm.
feel a part of something. I mean, whether it's positive or it's a negative. It's and when I say negative, meaning that you might have a sickness, and you'll see that sickness is not just individualized to you.
Hmm.
There's other people going through the same thing, and there are steps that can be taken, or there's um, um, resources out there for not just you, but for everybody.
Yes, yes. Thank you for, Dr. Dan, that seems to be the theme. When I ask this question, a lot of the panelists are saying the same thing.
Hmm.
This event is important because it does carry or wanting to establish a safe space
Hmm.
for men to be able to be vulnerable, to be
Hmm.
transparent, to be able to literally just to be open to support.
Right.
So that's definitely what we're wanting to be able to establish in a place where people can feel that this is that they can be we can they can trust us,
Right.
to be able to provide for them, provide services. Because I know for me and those that are working with us, we don't want this just to be a one-time event.
Right.
Where you get some information that one day everybody is feeling good and rejuvenated, but
Hmm.
it's as they are arising, they are also being able to move forward. So, with the resources that people will be able to receive, the connections, community being established, brotherhoods being established, we want to be able to equip these men to be able
Right.
to continue to walk forward. And I love how you talked about, for so many of the men, they were having to kind of care and do so much, but kind of taking that pause to lay the burdens down.
Hmm.
Um, and and to be able to take that time and say, let me get this screen, or let me
Right.
be able to ask these questions. I think that's just something like we're really wanting to ensure that people have that safe space to be
Right.
able to do so without judgment, without criticism, but literally just empowerment is
Yeah.
definitely what we're wanting to exude. So again, I thank you, for being a part of that, to be able to help, facilitate these conversations.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah,
No, thank you. Mhm.
yeah.
It's
And
my
so, what
pleasure.
do you know? Again, and that's the beauty of the community, right? And let me just say this for those people that may not be from, LA, Compton area. It's a lot of times we see things on television, we see movies of this is what this community is about. But one of the things that I'm really wanting to ensure is happening is that people can see the plethora of resources
Right.
that is in our beautiful cities.
Yep.
That they don't have to always necessarily travel to Orange County, or you don't have to travel to the Inland Empire.
Right.
There's resources here within the community. So to have these 45 vendors and up to say this is what's going on in our neck of the woods, like I feel a sense of empowerment that again, there's no excuse for, oh, it's not here, because
Hmm.
literally away around the corner down the block
Right.
these wonderful services are available. So we definitely want to be able to showcase the businesses in our area. I just want to say that for the people not from here. Yeah. So what do you hope the men in the room will walk away with being there
um,
with us for these hours? Mm-hmm.
well, for me, I hope they leave with just a renewed sense of identity, confidence, and purpose. And just feel like, just feel seen. Feel like they're supported. We want to inspire them. With from just talking to you, we definitely want to inspire them with love. It seems like you want to put out there some love and strength,
Yeah.
and just so they can feel part of the community, and know that, like you said, that there's things here. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
travel, and there's people here who care,
Mm-hmm.
and want to see them, get the resources that they need, and not have to
Yeah.
travel, because transportation is not accessible for everybody, and you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
travel far to get what you need. So that's what I want them to leave with, when they leave this event.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. And
Mhm.
and I just want to keep plugging, your clinic, that there's a whole clinic,
Mhm.
here in, LA. I call it Willowbrook,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
and we'll make sure your information is linked. But there's a
Okay.
whole clinic there. And I know that when we have this panel and you continue just to share, because I've heard you speak before, I've heard you speak to the community, and the level of, like you said, passion and dedication that you have for the community and health overall.
Hmm.
It's infectious and it's encouraging. So I just really just want people, because some people are like, oh, I don't want to know what a diagnosis is, I don't want to
Yeah.
know. It's like I'll just fall out and die. You know
Right.
what I mean? I've heard that.
Yeah.
So just to be able to have people like you to be able to speak to the information, the importance of the information, and to talk about what treatment even looks like,
Right.
what's available for them,
Right.
and that this doesn't have to be the end.
Right. Yeah. And for me, what I try to preach to the patients that I see every day is that it's okay to not be okay. A lot of times we're so scared to show that, like I said, that vulnerability, that I'm
Mhm.
sick and I need help. It's okay to not be okay, to be okay, because that's the only way we can help. Is to know
Yeah.
that you have to know that you're not okay, or you have a question about something, and reach out and see that
Mhm.
there is help. So once again, my biggest thing is, it's okay to not be okay. You know,
Yeah.
we're here
Yeah.
for you.
Ooh, I want to run. I want to jump and shout, but let me sit here. And Dr. Dion, that was so profound, because again, we always, I mean, I think there's the tendency, the mindset of needing to know all the information and
Right.
needing to know everything is okay. But as you said, it's okay not to be okay.
Right.
The beauty of community is, if you're not okay, I can be there for you.
Right.
I can provide support. But again, like you said, opening up your mouth and saying that this is what's needed. That's so powerful. That is so powerful. So, but you said one thing, another thing that I want you to kind of just elaborate on a little
Hmm.
bit, that you talked talked about what are you wanting them to walk away from, and
Mm-hmm.
that, like you said, was confidence and an identity, and empowerment. If those words have a look, what
Mm-hmm.
would that look like for these men? If they can walk away confidently, if they can walk away with some sense of identity, what would that
Mm-hmm.
look like? Or what, yeah, in terms of a manifestation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it looks like just someone who understands that we're all human
Mm-hmm.
and we're all, we're pretty much all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe different color, different shades,
Mm-hmm.
different sizes, all that, but we all have the same issues. And
Mm-hmm.
and to walk away with, just like I said, that confidence that, you know, I can be okay. I can, seek help. It's not a it's not a burden to
Mm-hmm.
seek help. It's not a taboo. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think, like I said, I can speak because I'm a black man. I
Yeah.
know, just the men that I deal with, they're so worried about what's going to happen with my family when I'm gone. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen with my family if I say I'm okay. They think that once they say they're sick, everything's going to fall apart, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to fall apart. They're going to, you're going to have people who are going to surround you with love, surround you with support, and 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 just be there for you and get you through the things that you get everybody else through. I tell a lot of my patients that as men, you know, we're so busy trying to make sure the car is fixed and make sure that the bills are paid. And that's saying the women don't. I'm just talking about for men right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That we forget that those things are going to happen no matter what. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we want to do it, but sometimes we just can't. And you got to be able to just say, I can't do it right now. I got to take care of this. I got to take care
Mm-hmm.
of my health so I can continue to do it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we try to fight through so much, and society has made us feel like we can't be vulnerable. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we can't
Mm-hmm.
just have a moment of downtime. We got to
Mm.
always be up top, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
happens. And it tears at you. You know,
Yes.
those
Yes.
toxins stay in your body and it breaks you down.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
only way you can continue to be 100% is just to go get checked up, get a
Yeah.
checkup and heal those things. And then you
Yeah.
can continue to be 100%. It's like a car. If
Mm-hmm.
you're running on bad oil or you're running on bad gas, that car is you're going to be looking for a new car.
Yes. Yes.
It's the
Yes.
same thing with your body. If you're not eating right, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not getting your regular tune-ups, your
Mm-hmm.
checkups, guess what? You're going to be looking for a new body. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there's only one
Exactly.
body.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I love that analogy. I love that analogy. And like you said, this is just even that it's time to take, let's get a tune up. Let's
right.
just, take that pause because again, we do it for so much of everything else. But when it comes to the body, yeah, it's like, oh, I'll get sleep later. Or I
Right.
hear this statement, I'll rest when I die. We're going to do
Mhm.
that now. Yeah, we're
Right.
going to do that now. So, and I love how you really talk into the mindset of men. Like that
Mhm.
confidence is truly like a mindset of
Yeah.
let me shift how I've been operating. Let me shift how I've been navigating life
Right.
and choosing to, like you said, get the tune up, to take the pause, just to really kind of establish some boundaries too.
Exactly.
Saying
Yeah.
what I can't do, taking the pause, and regretfully to decline for me to go help you do whatever because I need my self care. So yeah, I do hope that men will be able to walk away with that shift in mindset of really kind of what's important, and it does start with ourselves, so we can be better
Yeah.
to do the things that
Exactly.
we've been called to do. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I have one more question for you, I think.
No problem.
Yeah, but how can communities better support, support these men in their healing, in their growth, and just
Mhm.
leadership overall? What can communities do for them?
I feel like they can support men by just creating like a open, judgment free
Mm,
space.
mm-hmm,
Um, where men can feel vulnerable, and welcome to, to seek help, um, you know, provide mentorship, for the younger men, make
Mm-hmm.
it more accessible so that they can learn how important health is. I'm speaking a lot about health because that's where I come from,
Yes, yes.
health or leadership, stuff like that, where emotional well-being is prioritized. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just like I said, just encourage men just to seek help, just to build connections, do networking. If you know somebody has a good doctor or whatever, talk about that doctor. Hey,
Yes.
this is what my doctor does, and and hopefully you have a provider or a doctor who understands that everybody's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
When you come in, all my patients know when you come in, you're a new you're a blank board for me.
Yes.
Learn everything about you. You're the most important person in the world when you sit in my chair. And I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
treat you
Mm-hmm.
like you, not like the person who just came in who had the same issue. No, no, no. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
different. Some
Yeah.
people have resources, some people don't, and uh, uh, I have to treat them that way. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have a car. Everybody don't have support at home. Everybody
Yeah.
doesn't have, the finances to do what the other person can do. So I need to
Mm-hmm.
figure all that out and treat that person accordingly, you know.
Yes. Hmm.
And that's how I like to treat my patients, in individualized care, regardless
Yeah.
of what it says, regardless of if the diagnosis is the same, but the person is different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And every medication isn't for everybody. And some people don't need medication. If you need it,
Yeah.
trust me, I'll be the one to give it to you. But medication is not my first go-to.
Yeah.
My first go-to is the mind and the body. Get your mind
Mm-hmm.
right first. Your health, your eating, stuff like that. Are you
Mm-hmm.
exercising? Then, if we're doing all that stuff and you need the medication, then we'll go there. So I just think that the communities can help by just pushing that more.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody's everybody is different. We have the same diagnosis and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, they're different. And just providing that space for them to be able to go and say, I don't have this, I don't have that,
Mm-hmm.
I need this or I need that. You know what I mean? So
I do. I do. Yeah.
I start. I love talking about this stuff, so I started going on a whole different.
Yes, but it's necessary.
Okay.
No, no, but it is so necessary. And I love how you just gave voice to it. And I love how you really just talked about that individualized care.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, we all are different, but the same.
Yes.
But, especially like you said, in your field and mine, just not assuming that just because maybe this is even a diagnosis, let's get to the understanding of how this even happened
Exactly.
and to create a individualized treatment plan to be able
Exactly.
to support those individuals. And I believe with that, that's when people can start feeling hopeful.
Hmm.
That's when they can start feeling like I'm being seen.
Right.
Somebody's
Exactly.
hearing me.
Right.
So now I'm more prone to take action versus just 15 minutes reading a chart, and then you're dismissed. But I love
Right.
that individualized because it's saying, I see you, you're valuable to me.
That's
And
right.
again, that's one of the purposes of this event, to let people know that they are seen, they're validated, they're being heard. And in doing so, here are some resources to help you walk this journey as you are arising, as you are
Right.
moving forward. Because it's one thing just to get up,
Right.
but now we want to help them, to usher them just to move forward and put one foot in front of the other. And oftentimes with that, it does require the community. It
That's right.
requires those to stand with you, as you talked about, the mentorship, the advocacy, to help individuals to be able to move into that true identity of who they're called to be, not a diagnosis, not
Right.
a, what Big Mama said or what the system said. We truly
Right.
are. So
Exactly.
we're definitely
Yeah.
wanting to advocate for that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited that as you walk through that journey as a nurse, and you kind of just was observant of seeing what was going on around you, you identified, wait, there's a problem here. And in finding that problem, it propelled you to say, I want to answer the call.
Right.
So let me become this doctor to be able to have more of a voice and to be able to, again, stand for, support, advocate for people that, need the support. So I just thank you for walking in that call, you answering the call. I do believe in what God has called you to be. And in doing so, again, helping the community, those that are willing to receive this beautiful support that you do offer. So I'm excited about our panel that will be taking place on, again, May 30th at the Johnson Park. And we're going to get more information, as the date becomes closer, so people can come pack out the house and get this wonderful information that all of the panelists have to share. But before I let you go, Dr. Dion, is there any last minute comments, thoughts, things that came up that you want to just share as we get ready to close out?
For me, just like I said, this event is it's a godsend. I mean, I love talking to our people, men especially, because we, once again, we don't do it enough. We don't seek the help. And I'm going to continue to say seek the help, because we will sit there, and a lot of times when my patients come, they come by themselves, and I don't want them to come by themselves. I want a loved one to come. And the reason why is because men, we're never going to tell the truth when it comes to our health. We're going to always hide something. Oh, I'm okay. How's your blood? Oh, no, I'm okay. But then when you have a loved one, they're going to say, no, you're not. You were just complaining about your back yesterday.
Yes.
I can dive more into that. So just for me, just in closing, for me, it's just taking care of yourself is a family thing. We try to, everybody try to hold it into themselves, and some things are private. I get it, but for the most part, I just think that as a community, as a family, the more we do it together, the better off we'll be. Because it's going to show them that you're not by yourself, that you can reach out. There's somebody who can help you, get to that appointment, or help you get those medications. So that was my closing remarks, is just to make sure that everybody understands that you're not by yourself, even though you might feel that you're not.
Awesome. Beautiful closing remarks. And I'm not going to even try to touch that, but I just want to say I thank you for your time. I honor you. I respect you. And I am just excited to partner with you in this, because as you said, this won't be the end. This is just
no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dion. So thank you again. You all have a good one.
He didn't ask to carry this weight. He just kept walking, trying to find his place, trying to find peace. But even in the wilderness, God was calling him deeper. Brotherhood meets him where he is, shoulder to shoulder, with prayer, with truth, with healing, because no man is meant to walk this journey alone. And when identity is restored, legacy begins. Sons run home, families are made whole. Arise, Kings, a day of legacy, identity, and healing. California, May 30th, 2025. This is your invitation, your moment to rise. Arise, Kings. It's time.